If you have fair credit, right, and you're looking for a credit union credit card that report to Equifax, I want you to really pay attention to this card. And the first card I want to share with you is PenFed Gold. So if you're looking for a credit union credit card for fair credit that reports to Equifax, you will love PenFed Gold because the admission, the approval requirements are not really as high as the other PenFed credit cards. On top of that, PenFed, you don't need to be affiliated with the military to actually be a member of this credit union. So everybody can be affiliated with PenFed, not a problem. Okay. So the cool thing about this credit card is that they actually they will first of all the credit union this credit union will pull your Equifax credit score. So make sure that you check your credit score real fast to make sure that you have something at least decent. Okay, so you have fair credit, so you have anything above 580. Okay, and this card is cool because the purchase APR is about 18%, so that's kind of cool. Okay, and you have the ability also to pre-qualify, so that's very good. PenFed allows you to pre-qualify for this credit card, so please, if you're interested in this credit union credit card for fair credit that reports to that actually pulls Equifax, don't apply right away. Go to see, the whole thing is you do not even need to get a solicitation from PenFed. You can actually check. They have a website where you can just go and see if you can pre-qualify. Okay, so see how much you can qualify for. They'll give you somewhere from $1,000 to $25,000 if you have fair credit. And I have seen actually in my several years of experience that PenFed has gone all the way to 50 grand. So that's kind of cool. But if you have fair credit, you're not going to have 50 grand. If you're lucky, you probably get $10,000 if you have a long relationship with them. Okay, but APR 18%, you have the ability to actually have things like you can even do a 15-month balance transfer. So there's a period of 15 months where you can do a balance transfer, a 0% balance transfer period. So that's kind of cool. So if you have debts from other credit cards or other loans that you want to transfer to a PenFed, you will love their promo period. If you're looking for an Equifax credit union credit card for fair credit, I want you to think about Service Credit Union Visa Everyday Credit Card. So the service, unlike PenFed, requires you to be affiliated with law enforcement, not necessarily the military, but you got to be affiliated with the military, the police, whatever law enforcement. Okay, so or your family, by the way. So affiliation means what? It means that either you work for law enforcement, or you have family that works for law enforcement, or you live in a geography, you live in a city or state where you have all the agencies that they work with. So Service is a very good credit union. Okay, very good credit union, and this credit card you will love it because they will actually give you a limit that goes all the way to 20 grand. Can you imagine that? 20 grand. And during COVID, they were actually approving a lot of folks kind of help during that time because folks had a little bit of problem just with the economy. So Service was actually handing out good credit limits back then. Okay, so that was 5 years ago. So this credit union is really good. They have excellent customer service. So if you're looking for customer service, fantastic. And the card itself is really fantastic too. This card actually has a purchase and balance transfer APR that goes from 12% to 18%. Okay, so 12 to 18%. On top of that, you have no annual fee, no foreign transaction fees, and no hidden APR increases for late payments. So if you want to travel overseas and you just have you want to think about a credit card to use, think about the Service Credit Union Visa Everyday Credit Card. They don't charge you a foreign transaction fee. On top of that, you also have travel and emergency assistance services, and you also have finally emergency card replacement. So they are really fast though. I mean, usually fast. And but like I said, what I really like about this card is that they give you a maximum limit of 20 grand. Okay, and you have a decent APR like 12% to 18%. So if you have fair credit, you probably can get somewhere from $10,000 to $15,000, and the APR can be around 15%. So That's something to really think about. If you're thinking about an Equifax Credit Union credit card for fair credit this year, I want you to really think about Logix. And Logix does a great job in terms of giving you what they call a gradual credit limit. So they will increase you every 6 months that you have a positive payment history. Okay. So with Logix, make sure that you are really, really making payments on time and that you are using your credit card responsibly. So the card is called Logix Platinum MasterCard. So this is a great credit union credit card for fair credit that actually pulls Equifax. So they pull Equifax, and I mean they used to a couple of years ago they used to pull Experian, but ever since they have gone back to pulling Equifax only. So here you are having an APR that goes from 12.49% all the way to 22.49%. So that's kind of cool and similar to a service. This, by the way, Logix is open to everybody. So doesn't matter if you live in New York, you live in California, you live in Hawaii, you live in Alaska, you whatever you live, you can actually qualify for this credit card, not a, for this credit union, not a problem. So the credit card itself, they give you a maximum limit of 15 to $17,000 if you have a fair credit. Okay, and but the card has no balance transfer fee, no foreign transaction fee, and no annual fee also. Okay, and you do have an intro rate of 0% APR for the first 6 months on purchases, only purchases. And so after that, if depending on your credit score, they'll probably give you somewhere from 12% to 18%. But if you have fair credit, they'll give you somewhere from 12.49% to 22.49%. Okay. And one thing I want to say about this card is that the Logix Platinum Mastercard is great because you have Mastercard ID theft protection. You have Master Rental Vehicle Service. You have enhanced security. You have zero liability. You have Mastercard Global Service, and you also have travel accident assistance. So here you have up to $200,000 in travel accident insurance. So that's kind of cool. If you're looking for an Equifax Credit Union credit card for fair credit, I want you to think about Fairwinds. So Fairwinds, they have a wonderful credit card there, and they call it the Fairwinds Visa Signature. So Fairwinds has no restriction for geography. So if you, in other words, this credit union is not geo restricted when it comes to a membership. So everybody can apply. So this is kind of similar to Logix. Okay, the first two of this is similar to Logix or even PenFed. Only service so far requires you to be affiliated with law enforcement, okay, or the military in general. So let's talk about Fairwinds Visa Signature. So this is actually a rewards credit card, okay, and you can actually you can qualify for a limit that can go all the way to $50,000. But if you have fair credit, in other words, if your credit score is somewhere from like starts at 580, you're not going to have 50 grand. You probably will get 20 grand, as long as you have a great relationship with Fairwinds and you also have a good financial position. Okay, so this card, like I said a little earlier, is as a rewards. It's a points credit card, so you are able to earn 60,000 bonus points when you spend $5,000 in the first 3 months from opening, and that equates to a $900 travel value. On top of that, you can earn 5x points on theme park tickets. You have 5 points on travel, 3x points on dining, and you have 2x points on all other purchases. So you have a lot of flexibility here, okay? And in addition, you can receive VIP access to events, exclusive shopping, dining, and travel offers with 24-hour Visa Signature concierge service. So that's really cool. Okay, the only thing you have to be aware of is that this card is charging you an annual fee. So it's a bummer, but hey, listen, it is what it is. So they're charging you $95, okay, every year, and they're not even waiving the first year. So don't expect them to waive, like, some credit cards will waive the first year to sort of entice you in. They're not doing that, okay. So, but APR 18%, you have you are able to actually earn unlimited points that never expire. So That's kind of cool. And the fact that it does never expire. And you can redeem points for travel, dining, entertainment, gift cards, and more. And you have 50% more value on points redeemed for travel. Okay, so they really want you to really travel with this card big time. The cool thing is you have no foreign transaction fees. So if you're traveling, okay, they don't want you really pay any transaction fees. You have additional 0% APY towards your Freedom Signature savings, 0.25 rate bump on a Fairwinds certificate of deposits, and 0.25 APR rate discount on qualifying Fairwinds loans. So you can see that Fairwinds is really trying to get all of your business. It's trying to really cultivate a tighter relationship with you so that you can really do more business with them. So that's kind of cool. It's a win-win. You make them more money. They will give you less. They'll give you fewer fees as well, less fees. If you're looking for a credit union credit card for a fair credit that pulls Experian, no, that pulls Equifax, not Experian, Equifax, I want you to really think about Credit Human. So Credit Human is a credit union that nobody really, a lot of folks don't know about, but they kick ass like big time, big time, big time. Okay, so kicking a lot of ass, and so the card there is called the Credit Human Rate Preferred Mastercard. And this is a card that allows you to have a limit that goes all the way to $40,000. And so you have the APR goes from 11% all the way to 28%. Now, if you are lucky, they will cap the APR at 18%, as they usually do for most credit unions. Okay. You also have a balance transfer rate that starts at 7.90%, 7.90%. There is no annual fee. There is no balance transfer fee. So you have a lot of flexibility there. On top of that, you have a protection against lost or stolen cars. Okay, so this is kind of cool. The only thing is, this is another card you want because Credit Human does have another card where you can earn rewards. This card does not earn rewards. Okay, so if you're interested in earning rewards and you have fair credit, you want to go for the Credit Human, actually the rewards preferred MasterCard. But if you're just looking for a regular credit card, you will love the fact that they'll give you a pretty decent limit. Okay. On top of that, you are able to have access to the card through your digital platform, because if you can add your Credit Human credit card to Apple Pay, Samsung Pay, or Google Pay, and you can complete transactions right from your mobile device. So that's kind of cool. If you're looking for an Equifax Credit Union credit card for a fair credit, I want you to think about NIHFCU. So NIHFCU stands for National Institutes of Health Federal Credit Union. So they do have a credit card called NIHFCU Visa. Okay, they have a series of visas, but their limit actually is around $15,000 maximum, and in some cases 25 grand. So it goes from I'm speaking about the let's say the limit. Okay, limit goes from 15 grand all the way to 25 grand. So that's something to think about. If you're looking for something higher, then NIHFCU is not really the institution for you. But the card is great because you have no annual fee. You have great low rates and fees. You have contactless tap to pay convenience. You have online card controls for DIY card management. So that's kind of cool. You have 24/7 fraud monitoring and Visa zero liability. You have real-time purchase alerts. And you also have digital wallet, mobile payments options. In terms of APR on this card, you have an APR that goes from 3% all the way to 17.74%. So they're still within the limit that authorities have put in place for credit unions. So they're not really charging you more. That's really fantastic. Okay, and on top of that, you are able to have a 2.99% intro APR for the first for the first 12 months on balance transfers. So if you want to transfer balances to NIHFCU Visa, you are actually will get 2.99%. You can also earn a 4% cashback rewards points in the first 12 months and 3% thereafter in these categories. So categories you have automated fuel dispensers and service stations. You have electric vehicle charging, so that's kind of cool. You have groceries. You also have a ride share, taxi, limo. I'm speaking here about Uber, Lyft, and what have you. You also have utilities. So utilities including streaming, and you have also wholesale clubs such as Costco, such as BJ's, and what have you. Okay, that's good. And what I want to say is that overall, this is a pretty this is a wonderful card that gives you control, and you can actually select card controls while logged in to instantly block your card in case of loss, theft, and fraud, among other things. Okay, so that's really good. So I just shared with you the top six Equifax credit union credit cards for fair credit this year. So if you have a good credit score on Equifax and you're trying to really get a good credit union credit card, you want to pick one of those six or even two or three. It depends on how you want to stretch your things. But it's important to understand that a credit card, whether you have fair credit, bad credit, or a good credit, is a long-term game. This is not a short-term game. It's a long-term game. Especially if you are trying to increase your FICO score from fair to good to excellent, right? So it has to be a marathon, which means what? It means that you have to understand that your financial discipline is going to help you big time. Not just once, not just in one-time transactions, but over time, because you are building a strong foundation for your credit score to grow, for your savings to grow, for your credit building efforts to grow as well. Okay, and what I want you to really understand here is that, please, if it's possible, you want to avoid annual fees. You might be thinking, well, it's only a $95 or $200 or $300, and it happens once a year. Yes, it happens once a year. But this is a card. When you have a card with annual fees, that means you can't close it. That's number one. Number two, that means you're paying the bank, right? They should be paying you for using their debts because they're charging you an APR on the debt that you have. So they should be paying you. And number three, you should be using your card to actually build credit. You should be using your card to establish a good relationship when it comes to payments. Okay, so avoid annual fees whenever possible. You also want to make sure that the card that you are getting actually is reporting your transactions to all three credit bureaus. Of course, this credit cards that I share with you to this conversation, they pull Equifax. Yes, they pull Equifax. But once they pull Equifax, they should be able to report your transactional payments to all three credit bureaus, Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. That way you're sure that your good habit, your positive habit is being reported to those agencies. You also want to find perks that work for you. Look for credit cards for fair credit that will give you actually rewards while also helping you improve your credit, right? So you got to really have a clear idea about what works again and also what doesn't work. And finally, you want to look for an upgrade. So you want to look for an upgrade that allows you to really change your card status if you are making progress in terms of your FICO. So choose a card that you can easily upgrade for better rewards or terms once your credit score improves big time. In conclusion to this conversation, I shared with you the best Equifax credit union credit cards for fair credit. I spoke about the cards and then the strategy. In terms of cards, you have PenFed Gold, you have Service Credit Union Visa Everyday Credit Card, you have Logix Platinum Mastercard, you have Fairways Visa Signature, and you have Credit Human Rate Preferred Mastercard, and then finally you have NIH FCU Visa. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.